Hi, my name is Fabricio, I'm 16, and this is my drama life. I can't draw well, so don't judge me. I was born in Canoas, Rio Grande do Sul on May 29, 2003 at 1:40 p.m. Just when I was born, my parents moved, and I spent my first 5 years there. It was a good place, taking the fact that in front of my house was a bar that almost every day was open playing music until very late. Most of the time it was funk to help. My early years were not exciting, but they were fun. I spent the day with my cousins, playing in the street or anywhere we came across. When I was 5, I started at school and met several people, including friends, that I bring until nowadays. I was never very studious, in fact, quite the opposite. I didn't study for the tests, I didn't do the activities, I did nothing. The only thing that never let me run was the final recoveries, because I studied a little for them and managed to reach the average. 2016 was a year of many changes, many even. First, the beginning of puberty, voice out of tone, foreign everything that is placed, etc. Second, my academic life, where in the 7th grade there was no more final recovery, and because of this, suddenly I became someone else. I started to study a lot, I did all the activities, and if I didn't take 10 in the test, I would be sad. From that part of my life, I began to think more about the future, and that I really wanted to be someone of success. So, I started to study at home, want to get into better schools, and so on. As the years passed, I became less studious. In the 9th grade, I was no longer so studious. Of course, I was studying for the exams, but not in the same way that I was in the 7th. The 9th grade was where I met the Instituto Federal, a school that, in a matter of days, became my biggest goal for that year. At first, I was not studying for the IF test. I was more focused on going to parties and enjoying life. But in the middle of the year, I had a shock of reality. I was trying to take a test of the Instituto from another year, and there were few questions that I could do. So from there, I started to study just as crazy to be approved. At the beginning of 2019, I had one of the happiest days of my life, my first great academic achievement. I was approved at the Instituto Federal. Well, now that I've explained a bit of my life, it's easier to say who I am. I'm a boy in love with life, who enjoys every moment that lives, from the worst of them to the best. A person with a good heart, empathetic and hardworking. Of course, I have my mistakes, like any human being that lives on Earth, but I'm always running after them to correct them. I always thought first on the others, then on myself. But over time here, I have been learning and seeing that I should really put myself first, then the others. Now, answering some questions. How are you different from your friends, classmates, and relatives? I'm not that different, but with my friends I get more out of place than with my classmates and relatives, especially with my classmates. Does your routine have something to do with you? Yes, as I said before, I'm starting to think more about myself, so most of the things that I do in my day-to-day life have to do with me. For example, physical exercises, personal studies, etc.